Hey comic fans, welcome back to the Comic Fix, your one-stop shop for every single thing DC Comics, to create our own, to a little bit Marvel. My name's David, and welcome to the Comic Fix. So I'm sad to say that in this week's videos, we're not going to be seeing any independent comics. I went to my local comic book shop today, and I thought I would see some independent comics that I would just like to pick up, but there was nothing really there. There was Revival, but I'm reading Revival in volume form, and so I was thinking to myself, I was like, there's not really any independent comics this week. So you're going to be seeing a lot of DC and Marvel. Starting out with this week, we're going to be starting off with Daredevil issue number 30. Now the thing about this book is that I haven't been really reading the series, but on the occasional issues I read, there's one thing that always catches my eye, and that is the cover. This one on here, as you can see, is that you see the Silver Surfer versus Daredevil. And I thought, man, this is going to be such a freaking awesome issue. And did this issue disappoint? Not at all. What we have in here, we start off with a story with Matt Murdock. He is in his law office, and you see him, I love at the beginning where you see him just talking about some of his either exes or just somebody that has been in the law firm at one point. And you just see him going through everything and up until now. I just absolutely love this scene. It got you kind of caught up with who Matt Murdock is and what his law firm's all about and who are the people that have been in this law firm. So it just gave a good sense of foundation for the new readers at this point. And as he's going through this and he's looking at his new person that's in his office, he hears this sound. He goes into his own office, and what does he see? He sees this alien creature there asking for his help. And of course, Daredevil being Daredevil, he's kind of questioning what is this guy's motivation. And what happens? Well, we get the battle that I've been waiting for, and that is none other than Silver Surfer versus Daredevil. I absolutely loved this issue from beginning to end. And the best part about this issue is that it wasn't a story that's going to be continuing on for 6 issues. It was a one and done. And that's sometimes that not really done in comics today. Comics today, they usually not writing for the single issue, but for the trade. Where this issue right here was just made purely for the single issue. And anybody can just jump on at this point, read this one issue, and feel like they don't have to go to the next issue and read it. Which I absolutely love that storytelling. That's what they've been doing in the Hawkeye series, and it's been working out so well. Now, I hope that one day maybe more comics will kind of take this approach to writing single issues and see how it will maybe turn the tide of some comics. So, in the end, Daredevil issue number 30 was a fantastic ride, which I think everybody needs to just jump on and try. Especially with this issue. It was just pure fun. And at the end of this issue, it'll have a gut punch that you were not expecting. So, in the end, Daredevil issue number 30 gets a 5 out of 5. Everyone, go and try to pick this book up. You will not be disappointed. And it's a one and done story. So, what was there to lose? What do you do when you have a title called Batman and Robin, where Robin has went up and died? What do you do? I mean, the series can't be called just Batman because DC Comics already has this. Well, Peter Tomasi had this great idea that he will go and take the other Robins and put it in this series. So with this issue of Batman and Nightwing, we have this kind of the story of, well, how is Batman dealing with the death of Damian Wayne? Now, we've been seeing issue with this type of storytelling in this series. Each one has been taking a different perspective of the heartache that Bruce Wayne is going through. Now, in this issue, we have Nightwing. He goes in with the help of Alfred to go and try to talk sense into Batman. And we see Bruce Wayne in this virtual reality machine going over the events of Damian's death. One thing I love, though, is that the point where Alfred is trying to talk sense, and you see Dick Grayson trying to do the same thing to Bruce. Dick Grayson sees that there's no way to get him to go and see your point of view. At this point, Bruce is just broken down. So, to see Dick Grayson just go and basically in essence, give a hug to Bruce Wayne and try to help him through this was absolutely amazing. The downside to this whole entire issue, or to this whole entire series at this point, is if that you haven't been invested in the Damian Wayne story, you're not going to really get anything out of here. But if you have been, there's some amazing storytelling to be had. I absolutely love the end of this issue, which I'm not going to ruin here. But it was at a point where you could see that more people were affected with Damian's death than just Bruce. Because Bruce was just seeing, he wasn't seeing the full entire picture. But at the end, hopefully, somebody will get to Bruce Wayne. So if you are a person who absolutely loves Damian Wayne or has been invested in the Batman storyline at this point, this is an issue you cannot miss. But if you are a person who is trying to jump onto the series, it's a terrible point to jump on because A, you kind of won't get what the whole entire storyline is about, and this is just one for the people who have been invested in the series. So if you're wanting to get into the series, wait and go try some other comics, because this comic is not at a point for new readers to jump on in. So I'm going to give Batman and Nightwing issue number 23 a 4 out of 5. The last book I'm going to be reviewing for this video is Superman Unchained issue number 3. Now just remember that I have not read issue number 1 and 2, so issue number 3 is my first time into Scott Snyder's and Jim Lee's Superman series. So I kind of like the beginning part where it gives us a little, not synopsis about what happened previously, but it has 3 panels that just tells you who are the characters in this story arc and where they're at. It has Lois Lane, she's in a helicopter and the helicopter's about to crash. And I was just kind of thinking to myself, what the hell is Lois Lane in a helicopter for and flying the helicopter? I didn't get where that was coming from. And then the second one is that we have a new character called Wraith, and I was more interested in what he is and his ties to the storyline. And then we have this guy who's in like this metal suit with Lex Luthor controlling the metal suit, I guess. And so I was like, okay, there's a lot I have missed. So after that, we get basically the origins of Wraith. And it was just a big parallel from Superman, where the scientists went and put out a call to outer space, hoping that some aliens would hear it and come and talk to us humans. And what came out was Wraith. And so he has the same biology as Superman, and so I guess he absorbs the same solar energy as Superman. So he's had more years under his belt than Superman. So I was a little confused at points because A, I haven't read the first 2 issues. So I was just thinking, I was like, man, new people coming in, they're going to be a little lost at this issue. The biggest disappointment I thought with this whole entire issue was Jim Lee's artwork. Jim Lee is easily one of the best artists in DC Comics, or in Marvel for that matter. And so I was really excited just to see his artwork. There was points in this issue where his artwork was just as good as you would think. But then as you kept on going on through the issue, you see Jim Lee started to rush his work. He started to put a little bit more blacks in there, and you didn't see as much detail as you're used to in a Jim Lee comic. I am a little interested to see where the story goes, but I'm a little bit lost as well. I'm gonna go and try to buy on Comixology the first 2 issues so I can get caught up, and maybe this whole entire issue would make more sense. But for a new reader coming in, wait until the trade comes out and try out this series, because right now I can just tell you from personal experience, you'll be a little lost on what the story is. And I don't feel like this is the Scott Snyder we're seeing in the Batman comics. This is a little bit of a different Scott Snyder, because he is dealing with a different hero. So it's going to be interesting to see where Scott Snyder will take Superman. But up to this point, and with my knowledge of the Superman Unchained series up until now, I was a little lost. So in the end, Superman Unchained issue number 3 gets a 3 out of 5. And if you've been reading the series, let me know on how this issue, story-wise, did. Because right now it's just a little bit lost. And let me know if you actually agree with me that Jim Lee's art was not up to par as what we usually see. Especially my favorite issue is of Jim Lee's artwork was Justice League issue #1, where that was just pure awesomeness from Jim Lee. So that's it for this video. Comment below and let me know what you got for this week Wednesday haul, and I'll see you guys next time in my next video where I'll be reviewing more comics. I'll see you guys next time.